Okay.
Welcome back to Teen Talk. It's your host, Deshaun B, here with
Serenity.
The legendary Ajane Jaco.
And Miss KK.
Make sure to follow us. Make sure to show us some love by following us on Instagram at Teen Talk Vegas 881 and subscribe to us on YouTube at Teen Talk Vegas. We have very special guests joining us today from the 100 Black Men in Las Vegas. We invited them to speak with us about the importance of mentorship in our communities. Before we dive into this topic, let's give each one of them the opportunity to introduce themselves. Welcome to the show. Please let our listeners know your name and why you decided to join the 100 Black Men in Las Vegas. Starting with Mr. Charles.
Hi, hello everyone. Again, it's good to see you all. My name is Charles Cox, a proud native of St. Paul, Minnesota, and I joined the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas for the sole purpose of mentoring. I recognized that was one of the reasons why I was having such difficulties in my personal life was because I didn't have a mentor. So I wanted to be that for others.
Okay. How about you, Mr. Dwayne?
Yeah, hi, my name is Dwayne Kyles, and I joined the 100 Black Men in Las Vegas because basically I was sitting home on the couch watching the news, didn't like a lot of things that I was seeing going on, and I just figured that I wanted to give back in a structured environment, and the 100 Black Men in Las Vegas was a great place to do it.
Okay, and lastly, we have Mr. Russell.
Hello, everyone. My name is Russell Whitmore, native of Texas, been in Las Vegas about 13 years now. The reason I joined the 100 is I knew that collectively we could do more work and have a greater impact on the community than individually. So that's why I joined the 100.
All right. Let's talk about mentorship. First, I want to ask the teens, when you hear the word mentorship, what does that mean to you? Serenity, let me know your thoughts.
My thoughts on a mentor is somebody who can guide you into the right direction that you're trying to go to, whether it's academic or just like anywhere in your future, really. Somebody who's gonna tell you, like, help you out with the do's and don'ts. And, if you need help with any connection, they'll be able to help you. And if not them, then they'll find somebody else to help you.
Okay. And how about you, legendary Ajane? What are your thoughts on mentorship? Maybe we lost her. Miss KK, tell us your thoughts.
I think mentorship is basically a direct resource, like somebody who's always there, almost like your own little personal Google. Like if I have a question that I need answered, let me text him or text her real quick. Let me know what's going on. And if they can't figure it out, the great thing about a mentor is that they are able to direct you in the right way and maybe find a resource for you to find other than themselves that can help you with your issue. So your own little personal Google.
I definitely like that because I'll be reaching out to my mentors for everything. If I don't know, they know somebody in their network to definitely help me. So I definitely was able to experience that recently. Mr. Charles, what does it mean to mentor someone?
I view a mentor as a person that's like your cheerleader, somebody that's what I call rooting for you, someone who wants to see you succeed. They want to be on your bandwagon. And a mentor to me is the type of person that challenges you to look at things beyond the way you're currently looking at it, to help you expand your thought process about the decision, not to make the decision for you, but to give you some other viewpoints for you to arrive at the best decision for yourself.
Okay. And what are your thoughts, Mr. Russell?
I think for me, mentorship is about guidance and being an example. I always go back to me being from the South. I grew up in a small town of 6,500 people. I had principals and teachers who taught my older siblings as well as my parents. And so we were influenced by the entire community. So, I was in a boys club as well growing up from about 6th grade up to my senior year in high school. And all those men today are architects, business owners, ministers, architect. I already mentioned architects. So
they were just everything of importance.
Exactly. So we were influenced by all those people growing up, and they were mentors to us. So we wanted to be what we saw. So,
okay, I definitely love that. I love how your community was able to pour so much back into you and make you a very successful man today. Mr. Dwayne, how old does someone need to be a mentor?
Actually, there really is no age requirement or age limit. I mean, sometimes just based on where you are in life, you can always provide some type of experience. Sometimes you can tell a person what not to do, or you can tell them what to do. You can always share your mistakes, and really the way I look at mentors or mentorship is that we don't have to reinvent the wheel every generation. There's an old saying that there's nothing new under the sun. So a lot of times with the younger people, with the mentees, they may be going in the path that I've already gone or your mentor's already been in, and we've sort of speak done the reconnaissance for you already. We've already been there, and we can kind of come back and give you the intel report and say, look, all right, this is what you're trying to do. We did it already. These are the mistakes that we made. And to help you not make the same mistakes. And again, it's your own path to follow and make your own decisions, but we can just arm you with enough information to help you make just more, I guess, more better, more informed decisions.
I definitely want to touch bases on what you said that we've been through this before, so we definitely want to guide you in a way that is going to keep you on a path of success. I noticed that a lot of parents actually try to guide us through different ways and different adventures in life, and we never seem to take them serious. It's like everything a parent had told you what not to do or what was going to happen if you did it. It happened, and then it's like we realized that we were the one reasons behind our failures because we didn't listen. So, Kayla, what is your thoughts on just young teens not listening the first time around?
I do think it depends on the teen because I do, for me myself, I do remember like listening to my mom, but I also think that's because I had an older sister, so I saw her mess up when she didn't listen. So that's a little different. But again, I think it depends on the teenager, and I think a lot of it is just one of those things of like when you're a baby, like we do this when we're babies. They say don't touch it, and then you touch it, you get hurt, and you learn your lesson. And I think it's just human nature for us to want to go out there and try it for ourselves. Like you can hear about it all you want. It's almost like hearing somebody who went to New York for the first time. You've never been there. Even if it was bad, you still want to go to experience it for yourself. That fear of missing out type of a thing, I guess. So I think it depends on the teen, depending on how much they listen to you. But I do think there's something in experience it for yourself. So then you take it more seriously and you actually internalize the advice that was given to you.
Okay, I love that answer.
Yeah.
Mr. Charles, what moment in your life made you want to become a mentor?
Divorce.
Okay.
I, I realized the mess I'd made out of that situation. And I thought, wow, if I had a mentor, someone to say to me all of the things that I was not capable of saying to myself or not mature enough to arrive at on my own, things could have been very different. And we know the absence of parents in the homes and broken homes. And I feel like my daughter turned out okay, but that was a risk in my bad decision making that I put the family in.
At least you were able to notice your mistake and go back and correct it by becoming a mentor. So I feel like that was one of the best decisions you could have ever made.
Can I add something? Can I add something quickly? I was going to say, and you can tell, I feel like I can tell when a person doesn't have a mentor. Me and Brother Dwayne were talking earlier this week about Nick Cannon. And I'll also add in Deshaun Jackson, the football player. And the one thing I said to Brother Dwayne is, I'll bet you he doesn't have a mentor, because those feelings that he was sharing, those are his feelings and he's entitled to those. Those are real. However, you have to be cognizant of where you publish those feelings. You have to make business decisions. And I think a mentor in his life, he may have one, I'm not sure, but it seems to me like he doesn't.
Okay.
And Deshaun Jackson either.
Wow. Mr. Dwayne, what are your thoughts on that? Like, how would you guys? Well, how can I put it? What are some ways people can really notice that you don't have a mentor or you are in need of a mentor? What are some signs that people normally do give off?
Um, not to use any crazy big words, but just impulsivity. A lot of times when you don't have a mentor, you're impulsive, you respond too fast, and you don't. It's not really well thought out. Sometimes when you're challenged, the initial reaction, and many times isn't the best reaction. And sometimes based on the situation, how challenging it is, sometimes you have to remove yourself, take a step back, and use some actual rationale and reason. There's an old saying that you don't make critical decisions when you're angry or when you're emotional. You have to remove yourself. And so a lot of times, if you have a mentor, and say for example, you have a challenging situation, and you call your mentor, you may be on level 10 when you call your mentor, but the mentor is probably going to say, well, hold on. Let's think about this first. Let's just get our words right, because not to piggyback too much on the Nick Cannon situation. It's just that, there's a situation, then he got fired, then he had a real fast response that he really had to walk back. And had he just taken a little bit more time, he may not have made that response in the first place, because it's words are like bullets or arrows. Once you say it, you can't unsay it.
You really can't.
Right. And you have to have the discipline to be careful what you say, because when you say it, you want to mean it. You don't want to say it and not mean it. So that's how I would see, or be able to tell if a person had a mentor or not.
Okay, and I definitely love how you were saying just being very impulsive. I will say my mentors definitely taught me how to take radical responsibility and taking clear action on some of the things I need to get done.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Charles, what is a mentorship success story you can share with us?
I'll share one so I had a young man. I used to work for his mother. His mother's an attorney, and he had really bad ADHD. This is back in Minnesota. His name is Cheo. Well, Cheo just graduated from high school this year, and his mom sent me an invite to his party, and she just thanked me over and over again for taking the time that I spent with him. And I mean, he was a very challenging kid, and I came into his life around 9 or 10 years old. And so for him to get to a point where he's graduating and he's off of the medicine, that is a tremendous success story for me to be able to say I played any kind of part in that. I'm very happy and proud about that.
And I love the fact that when you mentor somebody, you stick with them for life. So just knowing that you were able to basically just be there for everything and walk them through that process. Mr. Russell, what are some of your success stories as being a mentor?
I think I'll go back to the use of the word example. I've prided myself in trying to be example to other younger men growing up, coming up from my hometown, seeing me working, coming from a town of 6,500 people working on the Las Vegas Strip, being in corporate management and IT. So whenever people reach out to me, inbox, text message, hey, Russell, how did you handle this? I have this situation. What advice can you give me? So I always try to reach out. I know where I come from. I'll never forget that. And one other important thing for me is being a father. I have to be a mentor to my children, to my boys. I know what kind of influence example I have to be for them as well. So I think that'd be the biggest key for me, is being a mentor, being an example for them.
Okay. And I love that you're able to be that technical support pillar for our community. So if we ever have any IT questions, we can definitely come your way. Mr. Dwayne, what are some of your success stories as being a mentor?
One that I remember pretty fondly, actually, is back in Detroit. I was a member of the Powerhouse Gym. It was a neighborhood gym, real local, a lot of street guys in the gym. And a situation occurred over a Super Bowl bet where some guys in the gym made a bet with each other. And then the guy, one of the young guys was like, well, I'm not going to pay him because he's not going to do nothing. I'm not going to pay this guy. And I kind of pulled the guy to the side and just said, look, man, you don't want to be the kind of guy that can't be trusted. If you had made a bet and he lost, you want to get paid. And, you have to stand on what you said you're going to do. You don't want to be the kind of guy that borrows money, doesn't pay it back, or you're a liar, that kind of thing. You're going to be trustworthy. And, and he actually interpreted at first that he thought that if he didn't pay the guy back and the guy didn't do anything, then the guy's a sucker. And I was kind of telling him it's the other way around. If you make a bet and you don't hold up to what you bet and pay, then you're the sucker. And then basically you're going to be ostracized. Nobody's going to want to be around you. You just don't want to be that kind of person. So long story short, he ended up paying the guy. And then he came to me later and just said, man, thanks for kind of telling me that, because I was looking at it the wrong way. I thought being strong was not having them pay versus, the opposite. So yeah, that's what I remember.
And I love that scenario because I never really thought about it that way. I've always been the type of person, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm just going to do it because I just want to keep my word. But I notice a lot of people, you do have to kind of follow up with them. If they say that they're going to do something, I feel like you should never have to really follow up. But that is something that I've noticed with our younger generation and Generation Z. But before we let you guys go, can you please share with people how they can find out more information about the 100 Black Men in Las Vegas?
Dwayne, take it away.
Ooh, I was going to give that one to you. Well, you guys can't see the banner probably all the way, but it's a banner in the background. We have a social media presence. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We've been involved in some things. We're trying to get our presence more, I guess, more visible. But we're out there. We're out there.
And the
You
website is
definitely-
the website is 100blackmenoflasvegas.org. Again, that's 100blackmenoflasvegas.org.
And we definitely want to let our listening audience know that the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas is a proud sponsor of the Teen Talk family. So definitely check them out and see how we can be supporting them as well. But that's all we have today. Thank you guys so much for joining in today and sharing your wisdom on mentorship.
Mhm.
It was definitely a pleasure. Be sure to follow us on Teen Talk Vegas. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Teen Talk Vegas 881. Check us out at teentalkvegas.com and subscribe to us on YouTube at Teen Talk Vegas as well. Stay tuned for more Teen Talk after this.